right? How many people are not kids? Then 15 people? Give all of these A. Yes? Yes. And the others F. Who said B? Why B? They're late. We wait just a few minutes and then we'll start. Right? And you put them through exercise. Now? Yeah. Not your kind of exercise. Or you want my exercise or his exercise? Mine is going up and down the steps. Like last time. Last time we had an exercise for them to understand critical resource, right? So I put them in teams of 3, and the worst score of the 3 was the team score. And they had to go from the 5th floor, run all the way down, and all the way up, right? We almost lost 3 students. We did. We almost lost 3 students. Where are they? Oh, but this guy, my God, he did it in a huge speed, right? But then after that, for 2 hours, we were thinking about taking him to the hospital or not. You okay today? Right. Who else was it? Are you okay? You sure? So you want my exercise or where's that? No. His exercise. All right, come. All right, wake him up until we get down the stairs. Okay, stand up. Can you make it tougher? I don't know if they're ready. I mean, we got to work. He actually works with the. He plays on the football team. UT's football team, right?
Play is a very vague term. That's not a goal.
Well, that's important, all right?
Right over cross.
All right, everybody run up and down the steps. All right, switch.
And over the head.
So sad.
With this.
Yeah.
It's a good one. They have to use their hand for running. So stretch your arms. Left arm.
You're on time.
Right, spread your feet. Down to the right. Down the middle.
In the middle, in the middle.
Left. Legs together. Down the middle.
No.
Who's going, noses. Are we good?
Yep.
All right, thanks. A new way of thinking. And we're providing you with different thoughts. And slowly, these thoughts have to come together into the form of a model. In your education at this moment, if I told you to go do a project, and I said, I want you to articulate this project, how would you do it? Like the projects that you're working on in industry, right? Everybody has a project. What was your thought process when you went in and you said, this process, did you treat it as a special process, or are all processes equal to you? Simply, I'm the question. Question is, when I go and look at a process, I think to myself, based on my education, this process is all the same, or the process is different, and you treat it in a different manner. How do you think? Tell me. Same or different? Say same. Same. Good. Same? The same. Very bad. Not different. How different? Tell me. Explain to me those people that are saying that I treat a process differently. Tell me how you treat a process differently. Is your approach different? Is your tools different? Is the way you talk to the process different? How is it different?
The way you think.
Like what? Tell me how you think about a process. Well, that you learned in the class. Right? But tell me about the process. I don't think you treat processes differently. You treat everybody as if they were the same. Now you're arguing. Argue with me. You say, no, it's different. I treat it differently. Well, tell me, how? Calm, please.
The future is very different.
The culture is different. Okay, before, because we have not yet talked about the culture. See, is a component that's missing for you right now. But the culture is different, and we're going to talk about the culture. I want to know the process that you're looking at, that system that you're looking at. Are all systems the same? Well, tell me, if they are not the same, people that are saying they're not the same, articulate for me how they are different. You can say they're not the same. Fair enough? Agreed. But then the second step is to articulate and say, let me show you how these processes are different. Tell me how these processes are different. Someone say something. How are they different?
Because not every process is the same in our projects. We have hospitals.
No. I know hospitals and all this thing, but there are certain hospital processes that are like manufacturing processes, that are like government processes, that are like sports processes, that are like, so there is a category of processes that go across. But we cannot classify it by hospitals and manufacturing because there are similar processes in all of those. I want to know that category of processes that exists. Now tell me. Oh, this is going to be a nice Monday. Ryan, can you bring me a comfortable chair so I can take a nap? Huh? Come. I want you to think. Huh? By purpose. The purpose of every process is what? Depends on what? It is to provide its customers. So there is a similarity. Whether it is being patient care or products or documents or services, they're all similar.
But it's not the same problem.
But if it's not the same, how do you distinguish that it's not the same?
Maybe it's automated or not.
So it's all in the room. Okay. You see, I'm going to bring 3 people up here. And we can choose 3 people, one from Brazil, one from China, and one from Mexico. And would you please bring them up here? So you choose one?
Yeah.
All right.
You're next.
And
All right, come up here. I want to know if you're going to treat these 3 people the same or different. And then I will explain to you, which I already have, but I'm going to reiterate it, how processes, the way you look at it, is different. All right, are these people the same?
No.
You didn't even ask a question.
Yes.
My question is, based on what perspective? Let me tell you. Let me tell you how they're the same. They're saying students in this class.
Humans?
They're human. Oh, very nice. They're not aliens, they're humans.
They want the same.
Huh?
They want the same for their learn. To be
Okay.
happy.
All right, so from that perspective, they're the same. What else? The difference of whether they're the same or not is the purposes for which you're looking into the system. You are looking at the system from a perspective of designing systems and designing processes, are you not? You look at from that perspective and say, are they the same or not? So what perspective are you looking at them from? If they are humans, yeah, they're the same. Are the students in the class? Yes, they're the same. Perspective. Are they from different countries? Oh, they're different. So are they the same or are they different? We got one young lady and two young men. Are they the same or different?
Different.
So are you telling me they're same or different? I'm confused. Same, different. It is based on your perspective of why you're interested in these humans. Ask them the question and then tell me, based on what you're interested in, what do you want to do with these people? What do you want to do with these people? Watch this. I want to go out drinking on the weekend. This is my purpose. I have no friends, so I want to go drinking on the weekend. Say yes. Drinking? Say yes. Drinking? Say yes. No. For a minute.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
From drinking perspective, they seem to be the same. My interest, as a student, they seem to be the same. The same. I want you to ask questions of these based on the perspective of why you are interested in them. You notice? Why you are interested in them. That interest defines whether they are the same or should be treated differently. Your interest. Your interest. So ask them questions while I sit here and drink my coffee. And tell me if they're the same or not.
How old are you?
35.
18.
Let me ask you a question. Why did you ask about their age? Why are you interested in their age? No reason.
Because he said that he wants to drink because he's 18.
But so you're interested in the drinking. And therefore now, of these three people, he cannot go out legally and have drinks. So now I have a distinction that he is left this way, these are two here. That's why he asked about the age. Your interest in the system. All right, one more person, and then I'll show you what I think of processes. Are we okay? So ask him.
You think that drinking is not good?
Huh?
Just do a network, like our contacts for our future life.
All right, somebody, Esdras, where'd he go? Come and explain this to me.
I have no idea what he's trying to say.
So he asked about whether they like drinking, is that what you said?
No, it is a good way of do a networking contacts.
Oh, networking, ooh.
Yes, in Brazil is part of the culture. Friday you go with your associates of your team and drink just 2 beers.
Have you noticed he just said very quickly, just 2 beers? So do you think networking is a good thing? Drink and network is good?
I think it is, but it's not the only thing to do network. So
Are they the same or not? Thank you. Very nice. Clap, clap. A patient in a hospital should be treated the same or differently based on the diagnosis or the problems that they have. Should you as students be treated the same or different based on your needs in this class? But certain times you want to be treated the same. It is based on your perspective of what you are trying to do that you look at a target audience and you say they are the same or they're not. Your job is to look at systems, are they not? Processes and systems. When I look at a process or a system, and we'll make it very easy, the process or the system is just this. And this is a simple version. A patient enters, a patient goes here, a patient goes here, a patient goes here, and a patient exits. A part comes here, a part goes here, part is finished. A document comes in. A person goes to the government office. What is your interest in this system or process? I want to know your interest. See, because depending on your interest, I can tell you whether you should treat all processes the same or all processes differently. What is your interest in the system? Tell me. You have no interest? What's your interest in this system? Your interest in this system is your interest in the system is the following. Notice what we did talk about, did we not? I said there are certain things that are leading indicators. What are the leading indicators for you? And if I was to look at the leading indicators, okay, my leading indicators what's my leading indicator? Is this not what every one of you is trying to do to the process? Yes or no? You're trying to do it through what system? Either flow, variation, or disruption. Is it not true? Because this is my leading indicator. This is what you, as thinkers of a system, can control. What is in my control? In my control is the ability to impact this, 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 to impact this. So if I impact this, it's going to impact this and impact this. If I impact this, this is your interest in the system. You have no other interest except quality of life. These are not our four principles. Yes or no? Every system should have good flow. Every system should minimize variation. Every system should have minimum disruptions. And every system should enhance the quality of life of the people that live in it. This is what I control. This is my realm. If you do this, what is the impact to society? Impact to the company? More profitable? Yes. If it is more profitable, is it possible that it's good for the community? Yes or no? What is the what? Well, what is your job? I mean, so you control this. What is this? These are, what do you call them? Tell me. If this is leading, this is? You are touching leading indicators to impact lagging indicators. Lagging indicators is, I want more profitability for the company. If the company is more profitable, it becomes more competitive. If it is more competitive, it may get greater market share. If it gets greater market share, I'm going to hire more people. If I hire more people, I have to pay more wages. I increase the quality of life. Lagging indicators. Your interest in the system is only this. Is it not true? Say yes. Uh-huh. And we talked about this like how many times? Not too long. 22 times. Your interest in any system is what? Now tell me. Leading indicators. What is the key leading indicator? Throughput. How do you impact throughput? Width and cycle time. Cycle time is reduced by concepts such as flow, variation, disruption, quality of life. If you touch those, your interest, you are going to have huge impacts to society, to an organization, to a community. Yes, is that correct? Now, so are we okay to say my interest? You say, remember I said, ask these questions. The question was based on what interest do I have? This is my interest. Now, let me go back to the process. To the process, yes? What do you know about process? What do you know about a process? Let's talk about your interest in this process. We talked about a lot of stuff. I said, for example, watch this. This is arrival. Remember, this is arrival. This is process. This is output. Every system, every subsystem has arrival, process, and tell me what you know that nobody else knows. Let's talk about, I'll ask you a question. If this process is a high utilization, bottleneck, high utilization, it means that this process is being worked all the time. It is under stress and is working all the time. What is the most important thing? The process or the arrival? Who said arrival? Who said arrival? Put your hand out like this. Put your hand. Slap your hand. Bad. Right? We only have 2 bad people. So let's try it again. If something is working all the time, the output is determined by the process or the arrival? Process. If you come to my office, okay? And I'm sitting there working with 12 other people, and I'm not paying attention to you, I'm not paying attention, okay? The number of things that go out of my office is dependent upon me. If I am sitting, my utilization is low. I am doing nothing. I'm doing nothing. I'm just sitting there. Output is dependent upon what? All right. See, this is your interest. I'm trying to take you from this interest to this interest. You see this? A level deeper. Now, this is on flow. Tell me about variation. If I have variation here, remember we said coefficient of variation? Remember this? Say yes. And if I have a coefficient of variation, what is this? Does this output also have variation? Because output is not a number. Output is what? Variation. What is this output based on? The variation of this output is based on what? And variation of this plus the variation of this determines the level of variation of this. This output becomes the arrival rate. If now I went from little variation, and little variation, and I had a lot more variation, right? I have a lot more variation on the arrival. I have variation here, lot more, much larger. You see your interest in the system. Okay. Disruptions. See, this was flow. I told you about the utilization, that's flow. This is variation. Tell me about disruption. Disruption. What kind of disruptions do we have in the system? Changeover? And what kind of breakdowns? Maintenance breakdowns, changeover, what else? These are generally what people think. I'm going to show you how to think of this in a lot more comprehensive way, because I don't want you to talk about maintenance and setups only. I want you to look at breakdowns from a more comprehensive perspective, right? So if I can look at the flow and understand the flow, if I can look at the variation and understand the variation, if I can look at disruptions in the system and understand the system, and then tell me about the quality of life. Quality of life. When will the quality of life of a person become better? When? Tell me when the system is working well. What is the perfect system? Remember from Friday, what is a perfect system? Flow is balanced. What is flow? Variation does not exist. Disruption goes away. If I have these conditions, I automatically have increased the quality of life of anybody without her saying, watch this. There's two ways of increasing the quality of life. Good job. I'm killing him. You know, I'm killing him. Watch this. At work, I'm killing him. The system is awful. He's dying. No, he's not. Right? He's dying. I increase the amount of stress. His blood pressure is up. He's unhappy. He goes home and kicks his dog. You know? He does. He kicks his dog. Do you fight with your wife? Say yes. He doesn't like his colleagues. And we say that we care about the quality of life of those individuals in that system. I put them through the worst system possible. We, at least in the United States, number one source of stress is work. We are, in this country, if you aggregate stroke, heart attack, depression, all those kind of stuff, and aggregate it, we're number one in the world. How do you have a quality of life where you have one of the highest standards of living, one of the highest standards of quality care, health care, and how do we have a population that, according to a French philosopher, is under depression? Because we inherently don't know how to design systems to be able to enhance the quality of life. All we do momentarily is to call somebody and say, you won an award. What a good job. Who cares? Who cares about these prizes and things like that when on an everyday basis, in all of the systems that you are looking at, look at the happiness of those individuals. How many people are working in Denso? How many people have seen anybody smile at Denso? They smiled one time?
No, they're always smiling. They are very happy.
Watch this. When you're observing and they're not talking